Hey guys, Diana here from Garden Love and my precious little angel, Lily here from Garden Love. She's gonna keep me company here. I want to talk to you guys about what container to choose when you are potting a citrus or a fruit tree. By now you would have already seen the video on how to select your fruit tree and where to go purchase your fruit tree. And the second video would have been about how to select your soil. If you haven't seen those already, I'm going to link them at the end of this video and up above, so that way you have easy access after you're done watching this video. Okay, so let's get started. So let's talk about size containers. So if you purchase a tree about this size, this is about a quart of a gallon. And if you purchase a tree this size, you obviously don't want to put it in a pot this big. Because if you put it in a pot this big, you're actually going to be doing several things. One, you're going to be wasting soil. Two, you're going to run the risk of the root ball getting rotten because all the moisture there's going to be in that soil that's not going to be being taken out by the tree. So it's going to be a little bit of a waste of water. Or three, it can easily dry out and all the water is going to go to the surrounding soil and not to the root ball of the actual tree that you're growing in. So when you guys purchase your fruit tree and you get containers, I want you to think about it as how you purchase shoes for your little baby. If you have a little foot this big, you're not going to get them a shoe this size because they won't be able to walk in them and do what they need to do. You're going to have to get them a shoe just slightly bigger than what their foot is. That way they can grow into it, and that way you know, they could walk comfortably and make good uses of those shoes. And that's the same thing when it comes to your fruit trees. You don't want to pot your fruit tree to a huge humongous pot such as this. Okay, so if you have something like this, you want to move into something like this. This is like about a little bit under, probably like a 2-gallon pot. Now if you have something like this, then you can move up to something like this. This is a 5-gallon pot. Okay, now if you do get a 5-gallon pot, you could go straight from this into something like this, because let me show you. See, it has plenty of room all around for it to grow, and usually within the first year they get established, and that's perfect. Okay, so as you guys can see here, I'm going to show you a clip of when I purchased this container in Costco at the end of this video, so you can see that they have them at Costco. They have different varieties, and I usually purchase mine at Costco or Home Depot. I prefer the ones that Costco always brings. As a matter of fact, most of my containers here in my courtyard, the blue ones and the brown ones over here, they're all from Costco, and I love them because after a few years that I've been growing these fruit trees, I noticed that I prefer to have taller containers versus wider containers, because wider containers take up a little bit more space and they're not as decorative when it comes to a small space such as mine. This one tends to look a little bit more elegant, and it actually can fit in a lot narrow spaces, kind of like every pot I have is very narrow, and I don't have a lot of space. So for that reason, I tend to like them taller this way. I used to have my navel orange in this container, and it did great, and I transplanted it into a wine barrel such as this one. I'm not sure if you can see it. I'm going to move it out of the way. This has thorns, so be careful. Such as this one. So now I have that one available. I think I'm going to buy a Mexican guava, which is one of the trees that I've been talking about for quite some time, and I'm gonna eventually get it when I find it. I haven't found it so far, and this is gonna be the container that I'm gonna put it in, because the Mexican guava does get pretty wide, so might as well get a container that's wide enough for it to grow in. Now for this one, I'm gonna probably put a citrus tree that's kind of has a more like a standing way of growing, where it's more upright. Guavas are very more like a shrub. It's a tree, but it's more like a shrub, and it has multiple stems, and that's why I would choose something wider for the guava, so it can be more comfortable. I hope that answers your questions. This container, I believe, was 16 by 33 inches. And as far as gallons, I'm not gonna even try to lie to you guys in any way. I don't know how many gallons this is, but if we kind of get an idea, this is a 5-gallon, and this is about 3 times bigger, so this is maybe like a 15 or a 20 gallon. And it doesn't come with holes. Make sure that you guys drill holes at the bottom. It's very crucial, otherwise your tree will just completely die if you don't put enough drainage. I hope that answered your question on how to select a container for your tree. It's very important that you don't up pot from something like this into something like that, okay? Your tree would just your tree won't be comfortable. Yeah, it might make it, but you're not giving it the best chance of it growing the best that they could at a faster rate. If you guys have any further questions, anything that I didn't touch on this video, please leave it in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I have some more videos coming up on how to pot your tree. And then we're going to talk about how to mulch your tree, what type of mulch to use, what type of mulch to avoid, and all those videos are coming up pretty soon for you guys. Alright, I hope you guys have a blessed day. Love you guys all. I'll see you in the next one. Alright guys, I hope you guys stayed till the end of the video because I'm here at Home Depot and I decided to come and show you guys the different selections of containers you guys can use for your fruit trees. I'm going to show you what size seem to be appropriate for a fruit tree and what size definitely just wouldn't work, okay? Let's start with this one. This one definitely, it's 24 by 25 square container. It's plastic. If you drill good holes, it would be perfect for a fruit tree. It's very light, so it'd be easier to move. I believe that one's $40, and there's this humongous beautiful container. Actually, I really like this one. You would just have to drill a hole. This is a very good size. This is 29 by 25. It's $99. This one is a great size. However, oh no, I love that one. Oh my god, they have great selections actually. That one is a really good container to grow for your fruit trees. However, I don't like the tray that it has here. We all know that you don't want your fruit tree sitting in the water, so you know what, even though this is beautiful, I would say this is a no-go. So anything that has a built-in saucers like this, do not purchase it for any fruit trees because you are destined to kill your fruit tree. Now I have some of these in my house. I'm growing my kumquats, so this would be actually a good size container to grow your kumquats if you have one, or any other actually I can't think of any other citrus that would do well in this because it's pretty big but not big enough to continue to grow. So this one, if you want to grow small citrus in there, these, it's a no-go guys. These are too small. Even though they're adorable, they're way too small. Those are too small. Even that one, I consider it being too small. Look at my hand, so it gives you a perspective. It's about 2 of my hands. That's too small. This gives you a perspective. It's 2 of my hands. This is more like 2.5, but it's a lot wider. So that's what makes the biggest difference there. And this is another container that's actually a pretty good size. It's only $49. It's a very nice looking container. And it's 22 inches tall. It doesn't tell me the width, but I imagine that it's maybe like 18 inches wide. So it's a pretty good size container to grow your to grow any fruit trees in it. So those are the picks that I would grow a tree in. Even this one's a pretty good size. Let me see. Oh, and it's very light. I like this. It's very light. It's about 2 hands as well, so it's not as tall, but it is pretty wide, so you guys can see. Alright, I really hope that this is helpful to you guys, because I know you guys all ask me questions about the size of my containers, and it's hard for me to show you guys, and I want you guys to have an idea of different options you guys can choose. Depending on the style of your garden and the look that you want to go for. So you do have a lot of options. I do have to say Home Depot has a great selection when it comes to containers, and they're really affordable. At least they're reasonably priced in my opinion. So I do come and get them here. Oh my god, I love this one. Actually, someone on Instagram, a friend of mine, has been messaging me, and she sent me a picture of her containers, of her citrus, and this happened to be one of the containers, and I told her that I absolutely loved her container. This material is a little bit more heavier, but I love the look. This is a great container to grow citrus that's gonna probably be in here 1 or 2, 3 years, and then you're gonna have to up pot it eventually. If you don't want to up-pot it, you're gonna have to pull it out and refresh the soil. I've done that before with many of my citrus. If you guys haven't seen the video, I will link it at the end of this video so you guys can go ahead and check that out. Anyways guys, just a quick video. They do have other containers, but these are the largest containers that they have here at Home Depot, and you don't want to go any smaller than this. Okay guys, I hope you guys have helped myself. I saw another container that will also work. This is a really nice size container. It's only $34. You can grow a citrus in there for quite a few years before you have to up-pot it or take it out and repot it in the same container. So Home Depot is definitely a good place to come and get your containers. I highly recommend that you guys get the plastic containers, because if you get ceramic, not only are they too heavy, they can break and it'll be hard to pull them out when you're trying to up-pot it. And this is the typical container that I get. I have this in my garden. You guys have seen a lot of my fruit trees in this container. This one's only $16 and it's perfect. It's a little smaller than the ones you get at Costco, but it's still a great deal and it's still a great pot. All right guys, I think that would conclude this episode. Quite frankly, these are big enough, but I don't recommend them. I've had bad experience with that one, and it has a saucer at the bottom and you don't want that. Okay, once again, I hope this is informative. You guys have a great day. See you on the next one. Bye bye.